the one, the only, Ben Sion. Good afternoon and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, just Daf It, as we continue with Daf It Gittin, Daf Lamed Vav, number 36. Great share for you today. Talk about selling Pruzbol. If you ever wonder what Pruzbol was, if you ever loaned a lot of money to somebody and were wondering maybe that's Shemitah, the last day of Shemitah, your cancels your loan, don't worry about it if you made a Pruzbol. If you didn't make a Pruzbol, you might have to go to a secular court. You're not going to be able to get elected in Beis Din, but maybe a secular court, you could collect it. Let's go to the bottom of Lamed Hamad Beis, where I had a discussion yesterday, machlokas between Rav Nachman and Rav Papa. When you matir a neder, do you have to mafarit the neder? Do you have to specify exactly what the neder was or not? So the Gemara says, Tanan, in Mishnah Bechoros, Hanosei, about 5 lines from the bottom, Hanosei Nashim Ba'avera. A Kohen, he marries a woman he's not allowed to marry to. A Kohen Gadol marries a woman who's an almana, or a Kohen marries a grusha, or a zona. Pasal Achi either Hana, he's pasal from doing avoda until he takes a neder that he's not going to be together with her anymore. Tani Allah, the Brisa talks about this. No derva oved yored magarish. She doesn't have to actually divorce her. All he has to do is take a neder. Then he'll do the avoda, go down from the avoda, and proceed with the gerushin. If you hold, like Rav Nachman, that when you are in matir neder, you don't have to specify exactly what the neder is. He'll make a neder, and then he'll go ahead and to the chacham and he matir, and the chacham won't know what he's saying. I regret making this neder. The chacham will have no idea what neder it is, and then he'll have retroactively done avoda be'isr. So the top of Lam Vav and Aleph, when it works for the Kohen to make a neder from his forbidden wives, he has to do it in public, in front of 10 people. According to the Mandamar, which says that once you make a neder in front of 10 people, you can never be master that neder. El the Mandamar, there's a machlokas. An opinion says that you could be made for it under certain circumstances. The Gemara says, al das rabim. We don't just do it in front of 10 people, we do it al das rabim. Basically, it's in front of 10 people. Those 10 people are acting as the tzibur, acting on behalf of all of Klal Yisrael. Another in front of all of Klal Yisrael, that you can't be matir. Damar ameimar, hilchas ad halacha, afilu man damar, another shuda rabim yesh la'afar, which is the halacha. Al das rabim ein la'afar, it makes it al das rabim, there's no afar. V'hani milu davar rashus. This is only for davar rashus, something optional. Of a dvar mitzvah. If the neder is preventing him from doing a mitzvah, yesh afara, there is such a thing as afara. Kehu mikri dardiki. There was a certain teacher of school children. The Aji Ravacha al das Rab. Ravacha was very upset with him. He was hitting the children too much, or maybe he was hitting them. And you're not allowed to hit children, school children. He made him take a neder al das Rab. Then he'll never be a school teacher again. He'll never teach children again. To have a pasha be a nuke, because again he was negligent with the children. He was hitting them too much. Ravina then reinstated him as a rebbe. They didn't find anyone who taught as well as him. His method of teaching was very precise, and they never found anyone who was malami Torah rabim the way he was. So therefore, they're matir that neder, even though it was hudar al das rabim. Either chosman al get and they taken all of them. The Mishnah says that one of the things they fixed was that Adam should sign on a get. When you write a document, any shtar, a get is the type of written document, you have to have signatures on them. Signees. Right, where do we know that? From a custom of Sefer V'chasam. Sefer Yirmiyah talks about a written document. You have to write it and sign it. Amar Rabba lo sricha l'Rabbi Elazar. It's only according to Rabbi Elazar our Mishnah. The Amar Adam Asira Karsi. He says technically that you don't need it. The kasa of La Sira Cruz is going in the actual writing of the get. That's still Lishma. And when it says Vinas Allah, that's done in front of Adam. The Adam Sira, the Adam have to watch the giving over the get. But there's no Adam necessary for signing the get. As opposed to Rameir, says the kasa of La Sira Cruz is the signing. That's Midah Raisa. According to us, the Amar Adam Masira Karsi, taking Rabbanan Eidei Chasima. Nonetheless, according to Elazar, the Rabbanan are Misakin. Nonetheless, it should be signed the document by witnesses. Mimnei Tikkun Olam. Why? It's going to help the world. The Zibin, the Maisi Sahade, sometimes the witnesses who saw the giving over the get will die. You can't validate the get. You know what I mean? Zim and the Azal Sayam, they'll go overseas. You're not going to be able to find them. So therefore, we can at least confirm the signees of the get, which in place of we can't find the Eidim Masira, so we can use the Eidim that signed on it as proof that the get was a real get. Rav Yosef Amar, Yosef says, Filu Tamal Rameir, our Mishnah given according to Rameir, Hiskino She Adim Eidim Mafrishin, Mefarshin Shmosein Begittin, Ibnei Tekan Olam. It used to be that all the people, when they signed the get, they just write Ploni, right? Ploni is a name for anyone, Ploni Almoni, right? They didn't have to write their actual name. The kind of was, they have to write their name. Maybe Tekan Olam, Kidasanya, like the Bryce says, Brishona Yakosev Ani Ploni Chasamti 8. Right? He would write me, Ploni. He didn't say his name. I'm an 8. Two people would do that. So now if the Baal would come in and protest this get, say it wasn't a real get, we need someone to verify this guy's signature. Vim la'af pasal, and if not pasal, Amar Gamliel, takana gdola hiskin, and they made a big takana, sheyima farshin shmosein begit, and they should write their names in the gittin, mimnei tigana olam, right? Because now if they had their names, we would know who the people are. We can go after them and ask them to verify their signature, or other people would recognize these people and verify their signature. It'd be easier to verify the get if the husband protests. So the Gemara says, "Simonolo." You have to actually write your name. You can't just make a symbol. Some people have their unique symbols, their unique logos. The Rav Sayer Kura, Rav's logo was a fish. Rechanina Sayer Charusa. Rechanina would make a palm tree. Rav Chisda Samach. Rav Chisda would write the big letter Samach. Rav Hoshai Ayin. He would write the letter Ayin. Rav Bar Huna Sayer Machusa. Who would make the picture of a sail of a ship. So the Shai Rabban and the Bekians Simanayu. These were famous rabbis. Their logos were well known, so it was well known. It was them. It was in place of a name. When they first wrote a picture of a fish, how do we know that it was Rav? So the Gemara says Vidiski. They had a lot of correspondence that they wrote between each other, and they would always sign. People would write them shilas and chuvas. They would write back, and they would sign to them. It's a fish, or it's a salmech or an ayin, and they knew it became famous. These are the signatures of these people. Hillel Hiskin Pruzbal. Last takana in the Mishnah was that Hillel was masaking something called a Pruzbal. Tanan Hasam. It says over there. I believe Masaka Shvias. Pruzbal in a mashamet. If you write a Pruzbal, then you don't have to give up collecting your loan. Normally, the Torah says shmot, that if you have a loan and Shemitah passes, the whole year of Shemitah passes, you don't collect your loan, then now it's the 8th year, the year after Shemitah, you can't collect your loan. You have to desist from collecting the loan. Shmot kol masha bal yadcha, or something like that. Put your hand down. Instead of collecting the loan, put your hand down. So, Pruzbal, if you write a Pruzbal, you can collect the loan. Because of this law of Shemitah's Ksafim, they couldn't collect the loan after the 7th year. People didn't want to lend money to each other. People would just wait and push them off until after Shemitah, and then the loan would be canceled. But Avro Mashakasa Torah, they were violating what it says in Torah. The Torah says you shouldn't be evil with your heart, not to lend people money. There's a mitzvah to lend people money who need it. Ahmad Hiskin Pruzbal, he went ahead and stuck in a document called the Pruzbal. Zeri Gufo Pruzbal, what was written in the Pruzbal? Mosrani Lechem Ploni Dayanim Shemakom Ploni Shakolcho Sheish Lietzel Ploni Shek Benokos Man She'ert. So he writes specifically what's the amount and the loan that's owed by him a certain person. I'm giving this document over to you in front of these Dayanim in this place that I should have the right to collect it anytime I want, even after Shemitah is over. Dayanim Chosin Lamata O Eidim. Either the witnesses Dayanim sign Lamata, it's a Pruzbal, it's effective. You hold on to that document. You can collect with it even after Shemitah. Omika midin raisa mishamta shviyas v'hitkin hillel d'lo mishamta. If me the raisa, I can't collect the loan after shviyas, Shemitah. So how could Hillel subvert something which is the raisa? Amar Abai b'shviyas b'zman hazeh. Hillel's takana was after the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. Technically, Hillel actually lived at the end of the second Beis HaMikdash, but the second Beis HaMikdash they didn't observe Yovel at that point, because Yovel was only followed when most of Klal Yisrael lives there. Even when Ezra went back, not most of Klal Yisrael lived in Eretz Yisrael. So Yovel doesn't apply. So Shemitah didn't apply to Raisa. The Shvi is Megan Azeh. The Rebbe here. It's Rebbe. The Sani Rebbe Omer V'zeh Dvar Shemitah Shmot. Right. It talks about the mitzvah of Shemitah's Ksafim. It says the word Shemitah twice. B'shtei Shemitah's Akas Medaber. It's making a connection with the two Shemitahs. Achas Shemitah's Karka, Achas Shemitah's Ksafim. Right. We know the famous Shemitah we had I think it was last year in Eretz Yisrael, about Shemitah's Karka, you can't grow anything. And then you have Shemitah's Ksafim, right, not collecting a loan. When you can't work the land, right? Mido Raisa. So then Mido Raisa, you can't collect your loans. Nowadays, the Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, and certainly even in the second Beis Hamikdash where there was no Yovel, there's no Shemitah Mido Raisa. Nowadays, after the Korban Abayis, right? Kedusha Rishon Kidsha L'Shaisa V'lo Kidsha L'Asad Level. There's no Chumas and Maishos are now only D'Rabbanan. All the mitzvahs that apply to the land only D'Rabbanan. Even though there was Shemitah last year, it's only D'Rabbanan. So therefore, people know there's a suffix. You can go to Kula. There's a connection. When there's Shemitah's Ksafim, when there's Shemitah's Karka, Midoraisa, then there's Shemitah's Ksafim, Midoraisa. It's Mashi Yeta Meshamek Karka. Right? Midoraisa nowadays there's no mitzvah of Shemitah's Karka, Yeta Meshamek Ksafim. There's no Shemitah's Ksafim. And therefore the loans are not cancelled. Top of Lam Medom Abiz. But Takin Rabbanan, nonetheless, Rabbanan Masakin, that even nowadays, that Midorabanan Teshamek, that loans should be cancelled Midorabanan. Zeicha l'Shviyas, as a Zeicha, we're trying to forget about Shviyas. Right, Hillel. So Hillel saw this, that even nowadays, no one's lending each other money, because still Midorabanan, right, you're not allowed to collect the money. Amud Behiskin, Prozbal circumvented this din Shemitah's Kaf Midorabanan. It's only the Rabbanan, but it's circumvented, and therefore you'll be able to collect. So the Mika immediately in the Raisa lo Misham to Shviyas with Takin Rabbanan and the Shamit. Going back to the question, so Shemitah doesn't apply nowadays by Ksafim. So how would the Rabbanan Masakin that it does apply? Before Hillel came around, why does it apply? How could the Rabbanan Masakin something? We don't Raisa, I can collect my money after Shemitah. Now I can't collect. The Rabbanan can do that. Amar Abaye Shev Al Tasa. Abaye says simply, yes, the Chachamim, like the Gemara says, the Chachamim have the power to say Shev Al Tasa, even the mitzvahs essay, Lulav on Shabbos. You don't carry Lulav on Shabbos because they're concerned you might carry Yal Am Shirabim. So therefore, here also they said, even though Midoraisa technically, right, you can collect the loan, they said Shev Al Tasa, don't collect the loan, Shev Al Tasa. Rava Amar, a different answer, Hefker based in Hava Hefker. A more fundamental answer. Based in has control over everyone's money. If it's a Jewish community and they go by some Batei Dinim that are Jewish, and they have the rights over people's money. The Amar, where we know this? The Amar of Yitzchak, Hefker based in Havaya Hefker. I don't know what based in makes Hefker. They can basically take away someone's property and give it to someone else. Ezra said this. The people, when they made Aliyah back after Bavel, they were marrying idolatrous wives, non-Jewish wives. He said anyone who doesn't separate from their wives, we're taking all their possessions away. So you see that Ezra, a Beis Din of Klal Yisrael, has the ability to take away possessions. Relezer Omer. Relezer says like this, a different source. It's talking about in Sefer Yoshua, after Yoshua, along with Elazar, who was the son of Aaron, gave the inheritance to the 12 tribes. It says this pasuk. The Gemara says, "V'chima inyan roshim eitzel avos." What's roshei avos? The heads of the avos, the tribes. The tribes. Just like fathers can pass over to their children whatever they want, right? They can choose how their children inherit. They can write a shchiv mirah. They can write basically apportion their estate the way they want. Af roshim, also the heads of Klal Yisrael, the batei dinim. The heads of Klal Yisrael, they can basically take property from one person and give it to another person. Now, what's the difference in Abai and Rov? What are they arguing about? Wait for Ian with Ben Sion. Very interesting with Ben Sion. We'll discuss. I don't think Abai and Rov are arguing. I think they both make sense in one circumstance. They talk about different things, and it's important to note this difference because it's important to note how halvos works, how a loan basically works. Who is the muhsak? If you have a shtar versus a milval peh, we'll talk about a milval shtar versus milval peh. Very important to talk about this. Stay tuned for Ian Ben Sion. Very interesting, Ian Ben Sion. So Ibailu, the Gemara has a question. Kieskin Hillel Pruzbal Adari who talking? Odilma Ladari Alman talking. Was he massacring just for his generation? He thought it was a good idea. And if subsequent generations wanted to continue the tradition, they could. Taurus Minag. Or he was massacring his Takana Rabbanan for all generations. What's the difference? Lavatle, right? If a certain community doesn't want to use a pruzbal, say pruzbals are ineffective, can they do that? Yeah, Mr. Ladari who they're talking. He's just massacring it for his generation, and other generations just did it as a minhag. You can mevatel it. Liam Rasta Ladari Almanam, he was masaking it forever. Hayin basing Yachol Levatel different based in Chaver. King God of Manam Chachma V'Minyan. That's a cloud. We learn in Masechus Megillah. If you're a based in Klal Yisrael makes a takana, you have to have a larger based in both in wisdom and number of dayanim in order to overturn it. That's going to be hard to do. What's the halacha? Tashma Amar Shmuel lo kasvina prosba eli beidina the surah beidina danaharda. We only write a prosbol in certain batei dinim, based in surah. He's talking about his generation, or naharda, where she was the rav of the place, naharda. If he was masaking it forever, why did he say only in these courts could they do it? Right? It could do it any court, any time. Right? So maybe the kind of takana they made was forever. Could go in Beidina Didei, Kuravami, Kuravasi. The Alime Laf Kuimamona. Maybe he did make a takana for all generations, but he only made it for specific Batei Dinim. The Batei Dinim that have the power, the authority to rule and to use a prosbol and to say this person can still collect his loan, even though technically Midrabanan they said there is Shemitah's Kav, you can't collect the loan. We need strong Batei Dinim. Hillel was masakin for all generations as long as the base thing was strong. Tashma, let's try to bring out the proof. The Amar Shmuel, ha prosbola ulbana de dainahu. Shmuel made a comment that the prosbol is ulbana de daina. It's an embarrassment, an affront to dayanim. I share chayil, if I was stronger, avatline. I would get rid of the prosbol. Avatline, the Gemara would get rid of it. High and base in yachal avatil, they were based in chavero and gadol me'enem chachmim. How could he even think of getting rid of it? Shmuel's based in was not necessarily greater than Hillel's based in. It didn't have more dayanim. It didn't have more wisdom. This is what he wanted to say. If I get stronger, yoser mehillel. He was just saying theoretically, if I could find that were wiser and have more judges than him, then I could get rid of it. Rav Nachman said the opposite. Akaimena. He said, if I had the power, I would make it stronger. I'd make Hillel's takana stronger. Chaimena hamakayim v'kai. What do you mean? Makayim literally means that he would keep it going. What do you mean keep it going? It's something which exists. We still have prosbols nowadays. Hachikamar. This is what he meant to say. Ema bei milsa the lo kosav kosav dami. I would make a takana, even if you didn't write a prosbol. It's like you wrote the prosbol. Anyone can collect their loan. Even if you don't write a prosbol, you can collect it. That's not the halacha. The halacha is you need a prosbol. Ibailu hay ulbana. When Shmuel said that prosbol is considered an ulban, which seemingly means it's an embarrassment. Lishtach the chutzpah, something which is embarrassing, an affront to somebody. Or lishtach the nichusahu, or maybe Shmuel meant it that the concept of prosbol was an ulbana was a convenience. Basically, it was something which made it convenient, right? Having a document made it easier for the dayanim to collect the money. People owed money, and Shemitah passed them to collect the money. To have a document made it easier. Tashma, the Amarula. Shmuel says, no, aluva kala shezinsa b'kerev chupa. The word aluva is used in this phrase. A kala, a bride, is disgraced when she commits adultery while she's still in her chuppah, while she's still engaged, or right after she got married. This is a reference. I'm a Rav Mari, brother by Shmuel, Micro. What is this Maimer of Chazal referring to? What's the pasuk is referring to? It's talking about when Klal Yisrael was at Kabbalah Torah at Har Sinai. They sinned with the Egel Azav. And the pasuk in Mishle in Shir Hashirim, which talks about it, when the king was in his feast, the wedding feast, Nerdi Nasan Reicho, the Klal Yisrael, her perfume smelled. She was with another man. Amarava, Adayin Chevusahu Gaban. Even though Hashem was angry, He still loves us. T'chsiv Nasan V'lo Ksiv Hisriya. It doesn't say that the smell of Klal Yisrael went bad, went moldy, went foul. It just says that it gave off a smell to somebody else. Shows that Hashem still loves us. And I love him. Another proof that the word aluva really means someone who's insulted or embarrassed or hurt. And I love him and ovim. The people that get hurt, they get affronted, and they don't feel it, or they don't act like they feel it. They get embarrassed. Showman cherpasim einim mashivim. They hear negative stuff. They hear embarrassing stuff about themselves. They don't retort. They don't shoot back. Osin ma'ava v'smeichin yisur, and they serve God out of love. And they're happy with the judgments, with the punishments that Hashem gives them. These people are compared to the pasuk The lovers of Hashem are like the sun as it exits. The sun when it exits is very strong, it's very red. So these people are very strong like the sun. Now, everyone reads this Gemara, and and you think how great it is, a big mila, right? When someone insults you, just be quiet, don't say anything, right? Just take it like a woman. Given the benefit of the doubt, let him insult you 100 more times. I once heard, I don't know, one of these big fundraisers for the big yeshivas here in Israel. He said one time he went to a gvir, a big rich man's office. He never got yelled at him. This guy yelled the heck out of him. He threw him out of his office. He said it was such a good feeling to finally get insulted over Torah. No, this is not the way men act. If you use common sense, you say no. If you're a man, you respond. You don't let someone beat you down mercilessly. You respond. You take the fight to him. That's part of being a man. That's just the way it is. You got to be a man. You got to stick up for yourself. All right, but the Gemara says, so yeah, it's telling you what you're like. You're like the sun where it's really strong. Now, is it good to be like the sun? The sun is very hot. You get very close to the sun, you'll burn up. So it's not such a good thing to be so close to the sun. So you have to read a little deeper into the Gemara when it says these things. Don't just take it at first face value. Oh, the Gemara is telling you these are, approbations for people who do such a thing. It's telling you the truth. It doesn't say zet to davar tov. It says these people are compared to people that love God. It says right? You're like the sun when it goes out. It's burning hot. Not a good idea. You get punished for this. You want to cool your Gehenna down. You got to stand up for yourself. You got to be a man. We'll end off with that today. Stay tuned for Ian Ben Sion when I talk about this Machlokas Abaye and Rava about, even though, right, technically Midoraisa nowadays there's no Shemitas Ksafim, meaning I'm allowed to collect a loan after Shemitah year. Midorabanan, they made a takana before Hillel came along and made a prosbal. They made a takana that Shvius does apply Midorabanan. That is, how can they make if Midoraisa you can collect a loan? How come Midorabanan they can make that you can't collect a loan? We'll talk about that. There's two answers Abaye and Rava. I'll talk about the difference between them. I don't think they're arguing. They're talking about different cases. Ian with Ben Sion coming up next.